सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि क्रिसमस मनानी चाहिए या नहीं हम मुसलमानों को। तो बात यह है कि हम मुसलमान, हमारा अक़ीदा है कि हम तमाम पैगंबरों पे यकीन रखते हैं। 1,24,000 पैगंबर जो कि दुनिया में आए और हम उन सब पे यकीन रखते हैं और हमारा यकीन है कि पैगंबर आखिरी मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम आखिरी पैगंबरुल ज़मान है, आखिरी पैगंबर है। और लेकिन हज़रत ईसा पे और उनके मर के जी उठने पे हमारा यकीन है। तो जिस तरह से हम कायद-ए-आज़म मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना की बर्थ सेलिब्रेट करते हैं 25 दिसंबर को, क्योंकि वो उन्होंने पाकिस्तान बनाया, वो हमारे पाकिस्तान के फाउंडर हैं। उनके मुसलमानों पे बहुत एहसानात है, पाकिस्तानियों पे बहुत एहसानात है। इसी तरह से प्रॉफिट ईसा, जीसस जिन्हें हम इंग्लिश में कहते हैं, प्रॉफिट ईसा की बर्थडे मनाना हमारे लिए कोई गुनाह की बात नहीं है। ये कोई नाजायज़ चीज़ अमल नहीं है, ये जायज़ है। हमें प्रॉफिट हज़रत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की बर्थडे मना सकते हैं, उनकी सालगिरह मना सकते हैं। और इस खुशी में हम जो बरतानिया में रहने वाले हैं, यूरोप में रहने वाले हैं, हम लोग अपने अहले किताब ईसाई भाइयों और बहनों की खुशियों में भी ना सिर्फ शरीक होते हैं, बल्कि हम अपनी खुशी भी मनाते हैं, क्योंकि ये हमारी भी खुशी है कि हज़रत ईसा दुनिया में तशरीफ़ लाए। बहुत शुक्रिया। TV 786 समीना रहमत।
When my parents first came here, and I'm sure that when many of your elders came here, there was a real sense that being in a country which was not the country of their birth would mean that over time they and their children would lose their identity, would lose their religious identity, would lose their cultural identity. And therefore they were torn really between wanting their children to succeed and integrate as full members of the British society, but also holding on to them and making sure that they kept them Pakistani and Muslim. And my parents toyed with that. And when we were very, very young, and we're talking now over 40 years ago, my parents were torn about whether or not we should celebrate Christmas. Because there was this sense कि अगर हम लोग Christmas celebrate करेंगे तो आहिस्ता-आहिस्ता हमारे बच्चों को confuse हो जाएंगे, उनको ये नहीं पता होगा कि हम क्या मुसलमान हैं या हम लोग क्या हैं यहाँ पे. So they were kind of holding on in those early days, quite confused about what they should be celebrating and what they shouldn't be celebrating. And as we got older, we started to realize that Santa Claus never came to our house. And we kind of went to school, but Santa Claus had been to everybody else's house. And my elder sister tried to reason it on the fact that we'd had the chimney breast taken out, and therefore there was nowhere for Santa Claus to come down. And then my sister, on one particular evening, actually left the back door open so that he would be able to come in through the back door because he couldn't come down the chimney because we didn't have any chimney breast anymore. My younger sister started to introduce Christmas into our lives. And she said to my father that the 25th of December is the birthday of an incredibly important person. And we need to celebrate it. And he said, well, you know, and she said, Abu Jan, do you not know that Muhammad Ali Jinnah was born on the 25th of December? Do you not feel this is a day that we must remember and celebrate and have a big festival? So that was how it was introduced. And then slowly it wasn't chicken, it became turkey on Jinnah Day. And then we decided we had to have tinsel on Jinnah Day. And we then had to have Christmas crackers on Jinnah Day. And now the cold tree and the whole thing is done. And he knew what was happening. But over time we took him on a journey. And what was the birthday of a very special man became the birthday of another very special man. And therefore we now feel that I think over time he felt that he could reconcile his Pakistani identity and his British identity, his Muslim identity and his acceptance of other faiths. And I think that takes me back to the work that I'm doing in terms of freedom of religion and belief. I've always said that the rejection of the other is usually because you feel that your own identity is under threat. If you look at the far-right extremists in this country, they feel they have to reject the other because they feel they don't have a sense of their own identity and their own belonging. But I don't think acceptance of another is actually a weakening of your identity. It's a strong, open identity that allows you to accept the other. And therefore a strong Muslim, Pakistani, British identity that we have in our generation is much more acceptance of the other, whereas my parents, who felt their identity was under threat, found it much harder to be on that journey. So what does that represent for me today? I think what today represents is really a maturing of the British Pakistani community, a sense that they are sure of being British and Pakistani, a sense that their identities are not under threat by reaching out, and an acceptance that we have far more in common to celebrate together than we have in relation to differences. So can I say in advance a very Merry Christmas and Happy Jinnah Day.